Okay, everybody, welcome to the summer event for the Cambridge Power Platform User Group. I'm Sharon Sumner. I'll be your hostess this evening. It's afternoon. It's not quite evening yet. Calm down. And we've got some fantastic speakers this afternoon, starting off with our very own Sancho. So let's get straight into the meeting rules and regulations, just so that we all know where we stand. It's always nice just to put this up at the beginning and sort of say, can we all just be aware of each other, understand each other, and, very tolerant. Being kind and considerate to others is a bit of a mantra of ours, and we hope that you respect that during the course of today's call. So who have we got on today's call? Really exciting roundup for our summer event. So we have the lovely Sancho, who I can see here already. Hi, Sancho. He's going to talk to us about learning, exams, knowing your topic. All of those things are really key in the Microsoft ecosystem. So Sancho's going to talk to us about, just because we've got AI, and we're a bit of an AI-focused event today, doesn't mean we don't need to learn. So looking forward to that. It's always nice to get some really differing opinions on how great or not AI, Copilot, and all these things are. Talking of Copilot, we're going to be then going on to Katerina, who I think is also here already. Hi, Katerina. And she's going to be talking to, hello. She's going to be talking to us about the AI Copilot in the terms of the Microsoft Power Platform. So that's going to be more of an educational piece. We like that. Hopefully a bit of show and tell going on there. Then we've got, I'm going to butcher your name. I apologize in advance. Shrusti, coming along to talk to us about the integration of OpenAI with the Power Platform and those custom connectors, which again, hoping for a little show and tell, which would be great. I'm going to finish off this afternoon session with Divya, who's been here before. And I think we have a recorded session from her today. And she's going to be looking at actually the security and the moderation of those Azure Cognitive Services. Again, really important topic when it comes to AI is security and moderation. So a bit of a mix. So we're going to talk about, a little bit of insight into what AI is for and not, then how we can use it, and then how we can secure it. So it's going to be a really full session today. So thank you to our speakers in advance. We really appreciate your time and you coming along, sharing your knowledge with everybody. And I think at this point, if he's there, he is. Last minute ditch. At this point, we're going to hand over to Sancho. Oh, I actually didn't introduce myself. For those of you that don't know me, and I can't believe there are any of you out there, I'm Sharon Sumner. I am your community leader. So I help bring all of these things together in conjunction with my team who are in the background. Do you want to come off? Do you want to come on camera, guys? If we got back here. So we have the lovely Amber, who organises all the speakers and does the marketing for the event. And then we have our techie back there, Luke, who is helping us out with all things technical. So thank you very much for the Casper 365 team and Casper 365 for sponsoring the event. Again, those that don't know me, I'm a Microsoft MVP for business applications. I'm also, as of yesterday, a Microsoft Regional Director, which I'm super proud of. And also known, thank you very much, also known as SharePoint Sharon. If you want to go and find me on LinkedIn, please do connect. I'm always happy to talk to anybody about anything Power Platform, AI, Copilot, anytime. You'll also find me at the Scottish Summit, which is not this weekend, but the weekend after, 5th of August, where I'm going to be introducing a brand new speaker, and we're going to be talking about low-code, pro-code, which will be a really great session. So if you're at Scottish Summit, come find me, come say hi. It'd be lovely to meet all of you. Okay, so we are going to be recording the sessions today. So if you weren't able to make it, don't worry about it. That'll be available on YouTube later in the usual spot, and we'll tell you where that is right at the end. Okay, so our next presenter isn't actually here in person, which is a shame, but we do have a video again of her session. Shruti, as shown here, I'm sure I've got your name wrong, I apologise, has been active in the community and being an SPFX developer means that she's probably been under the hood quite a great deal. So it's going to be a really interesting session to look at how we get that custom connector working, and integrating the OpenAI into the Power Platform is really key if we're going to start using these tools actively, not just to create the solutions, but in the solutions themselves. So Luke, if you want to hand over to the recorded session, please give it a go. Again, add any questions into the chat and we will either have a go at answering those or bring them to her afterwards. Over to you.
So, hello everyone. Welcome to the Cambridge Power Platform user group session. Just let me present my screen. Okay. Hopefully you all can see my screen. And let me just quickly introduce what I'm going to talk about today and what session I'm going to walk you through. So today's topic is very interesting. I mean, it is like right now in Microsoft industry, the buzzword is ChatGPT, Copilot, OpenAI, and all of the AI integrations with the Microsoft 365 platforms, either Teams or Power Platform, etc. So today I've picked up a very interesting topic, which is how you can integrate OpenAI API in the form of like you have to create a custom connector and how you can use that custom connector across your Power Platform, like Power Apps or Power Automate. So let's just quickly check. First things first, I'll quickly introduce myself. So myself, Shrusti Shah, and I've been working as technical consultant, and also I'm a Microsoft MVP working at Rapid Circle. But you can find me speaking across various conferences and user groups, and I also am Microsoft certified, and I keep writing or keep posting articles or blogs in my website. So let's just quickly go ahead and look at the agenda. Firstly, I'll quickly introduce what are the connectors. Then we'll see, we'll think about why the need for custom connector arised and how you can utilize, like what is OpenAI, how you can use OpenAI API, and using that OpenAI API, how can consume that connect. So firstly, when I talk about OpenAI API, it is like in the form of a connector, which is like you can use that connector across a Power Platform like Power Automate or Power Apps, and how you can consume that in Power Apps and Power Automates. And we'll see this in the demo. I don't have any more slides to present, so I'll quickly jump to the real life use cases. Okay, so for those who are not aware about what exactly OpenAI API is and how you can read more about OpenAI, what models it provides by default, or if you want, you can go ahead and create your custom AI models. But today I'm going to walk you through about already existing pre-built model, which is provided by OpenAI, which is like image generation, simple. Okay, so right now, if you can see my screen, then I am in the OpenAI. So I'm using OpenAI platform, and I can just quickly Google, and you'll land up. The first thing which you'll see here is openai.com. So I'm just in OpenAI, and I have just picked up the documentation. The documentation is really very useful when you can find all the different like guides for all the different models like GPT, image generation, fine tuning, even speech to text, moderation, etc. These are all the guides for which you can pick up any from this one. So let me just go ahead and deep dive into one of them so that you can relate it more. You can see image generation right from the left hand side, and in the image generation you'll find some beautiful description, a document guide, and also the API reference information. So now from the image generation, you would probably assume that, okay, by giving some prompt, which is adding some text into a text input box, this model will give you back some images related to the text. So let's say if I type in, give me a good, beautiful image of Microsoft, which is Microsoft Office located in Redmond, and it should be surrounded by greenery. And it should give me some image, right? Something like that. But when I do the exactly same thing, how it is different from your normal browser or internet browsing search, and how it is different, like how this AI model is different to the normal search browsing, you might wonder. So when I talk about search, what search does is it will just grab you, it will give you the images with respect to like Microsoft, which is located in Redmond office, and it might not give you the exact image which you're looking for. Let's say my prompt is give me the image of a cat with blue or brown eyes, and it should have some customizations, like you can have your own customizations, artistic images, etc. So this is what it is saying. The images API provides three methods wherein you can interact with the images. Firstly, either you can create image from scratch based on just a text prompt. So this model will give you the images based on just any text prompt, or it will like create edits of an existing image based on some new text prompt. And also it can create variations of an existing image. So what does this exactly mean? We'll quickly look at one of the example. Now, generations, which is just generating an image based on a prompt. So this is how the response, or the when the API responds back with the some answer or a value, what it gives back is it will give me back an image URL. Okay. And the what I feed in is I need to feed a prompt. I want a cat, which is a white Siamese cat. And how many images I want, which is this is the number of images, one, two, ideally, whatever number you want to give, you can give this API. Also the size. So what size of an image you are trying to produce, the API should give you back. So I just can write it down any size, 512 cross 512 or 256 cross 256, but they have given 1024 x1024. So now you can see the output, the image which was generated is this one. Then this is using DALI model, as you can see from the documentation. Also another example, which is a close up. So we are giving a more precise prompt. So this is all about prompt engineering, how well you can give or frame your prompt so that you can get the exact response what you're looking for. So as I mentioned that I want a close up, and the image should be more from a portrait, a photographic portrait, but the cat is same, a white Siamese cat, and the expression of the cat is curious, and the eyes should be black. So this is how you can frame your prompts. This is the beautification of how we can start giving such prompts wherein the AI can understand and it can create some artistic or it can fetch those kind of images which best matches that prompt. Sorry. So now what we'll do is we'll just quickly jump to connectors. I talked about what is image generation, and let's just go ahead and look into another aspect. What we are going to do today is I'll pick up this API for image generation, and I will try to create a custom connector on top of this. So to start with connectors, so connectors are basically when you interact from one service to the another service, that is called a connector. So let's say I want to grab all the tasks which are assigned to me. So what I'll do is ideally I'll create a flow, and it will just add some actions, or which are connectors from Planner, from wherein I can get all the tasks which are assigned to me using Planner. So as you go to the Power Platform, so let me just quickly go ahead and just show you one of the use case of a connector so that you can best relate with what I'm telling. I'll go and create a flow, and I'll just create a random manual flow right now, instant cloud flow, and I'll skip. Okay, so now what you're seeing here is these are the built-in connectors. So built-in means that all those connectors which are integrated with Microsoft 365, like Planner, Service, Teams, these are the standard ones which are integrated with Microsoft 365, like Teams, Planner, Outlook, OneDrive, and many other third file system, Excel Online for Business, Word, etc. So these are all the standard ones. Now let's say I have a use case wherein I want to just like this one, I want to integrate my OpenAI API, but I don't see any OpenAI connectors, right? I don't see of any of those. I don't have any OpenAI connectors for me. Then what I can do is I can create my own connector, which will be a custom connector, and that will perform some action. So now my action is generate an image based on the prompt, image generation. That is what my connector is going to do. So now let's just go ahead, and what you'll need for that is you just have to log into your OpenAI, and then you must have the access. You can go ahead and create keys, and then you can utilize these keys so that we can use it in our custom connector. Now in the API reference document, go to the API reference document, and in the images, we'll get, this is the one which we're going to consume, create image. And as you can see, just go to the curl because this will be a JSON. HTTPS colon / api.openai.com/version1 images generations. This API we're going to use, and this will help us generate images. Now, what does body, the body of the API needs? So this is the body prompt. It will need a prompt definitely from a user. They have to key in the prompt. The user also has the capability that they can, they have to add number of images and also provide the size, so that based on this body, which are the inputs which a user will give, the model will generate an image. What else do we need? Authorization, definitely, so that we are authenticated to use OpenAI API. And how do you do that? You have to provide bearer/token. And here in OpenAPI key, we are going to add that key, which you can add it from here. You can click on view API keys, and then you can just grab the key and you can add it. Okay, now let's just go ahead and check the API reference again for images. And content type should be, so this is the content type, which is just an application/JSON. So now let's just go ahead and see how we can, same thing which I mentioned is present here. This is the post API, because right now we want an image to be generated based on a prompt. Hence, this is a post API. We are not getting anything. Based on some inputs, we'll get the output. Hence, it is post. And what is the request body? Prompt, which is a text description. And it is the number of images and model should generate. Size, it is the size of the images that model should generate. And the response format, it will be this content type application/JSON, and the user. So the user is just, this is an optional one. You can ignore it as well. Now we'll go to our Power Platform, and what we'll do is we're going to go to the custom connectors. And in the custom connector, I already have one custom connector build, which is OpenAI create image. Let's just go ahead and see how you can do that. What I did is I went in the custom connectors and I created a new custom connector from blank. You can also do it by using import and OpenAI. You can do that. And you can also do by import and OpenAI from URL. What I did is I created it from blank. I'll edit this so that you can see there are 5 sections. You have to add all the details in these 5 sections. Let's just go ahead and look into more depth. So in the general section, what we are doing is how your connector will be identified by user. So now when I go to any of the Power Platform, like Power Apps, any of the Power Platform services like Power Apps or Power Automate. So let's just go ahead in the flows and create a new instant cloud flow. And in the instant cloud flow, as you can see, this is the image and this is the name of the connector, forms and Microsoft Forms. And in the forms, there are few sections. One is triggers and actions. So this is the different thing. Now, when we talk about image and title, so that is this image and title we're talking about here. And the same thing you have to provide the image. If you have any OpenAI image, you can upload it. If you want that to have a background color, do that. Description you can provide. So I just provided that using DALI to generate images from textual descriptions using a GPT-3 based approach. So this is the description relevant to the OpenAI connector, custom connector, which I'm going to create. And this schema of the API, the connector will be HTTPS, okay, always. And this is the host, which is api.openai.com, because we are using the OpenAI API. So as you can see here, this is the host. And this is the HTTPS, which we just added here, schema. Now going to the next section. Once you're done here, you have to go to the security. This is the utmost important section. In the security section, what you have to do is whatever API key we are adding, that bearer token, that we have to provide here. You just click on edit, select select API key. Once you are done, in the API key, just add the parameter name as authorization. And where this will be added in your API, definitely as a header. So you can refer your API documentation. In the authorization, bearer space token. So authorization will be the name. Go back. The parameter name will be authorization and it will be added in the header. Done. Okay. Now we'll edit this API key as well. And we'll go to the definition. So now our authorization part is handled, which is the security aspect. And next important thing is definition. So here you can create triggers or actions. So as you can see in our Power Automate, if I just select Excel, so there might be few triggers, which is if there is some updations in the row, then please give me this, right? So based on that trigger, that is also, these triggers are also created on top of APIs, and actions are also created on top of APIs. But actions is like performing a set of action, and trigger is basically kind of an automation. So based on some changes in some services, this will be triggered. So now currently we are going to use an action. We'll create an action. So as you can see, I've added creates images. So this is the name. Creates images is the action name, which you are seeing here. And I'm giving a random just description. So create an image given a prompt. And this is the summary. Now what else I'm going to do is I'll have to form a request. So just like any HTTP request with the body and header, I have added a URL from the reference documentation. This URL, this will be the API. Once I've added, you can also import it from a sample. What you can do is you just have to select post and give that URL here, this URL, select it, select post, just select the header from here. Just remove the double quotes, add the other reference. So just add it here, the content type, just that's it, because authorization we've already added. Once you are done, then just paste that curl, this whole body from here to here. Once it is done, then you can import. Once you do import, then what it will do is, just let's check. So content type, it is just the content type application slash JSON, and definitely this is required, and it is the internal. And if you want drop down, then you can add, but I don't want it. I'll come back again and we'll see the other parameters. So in the body, just edit. Now, in the body, definitely body is required, and there are three at most important parameters: the number of images, prompt, and the size. So we'll edit this one by one. So this is the title, the number of images to be generated, and also you have to provide a default value, 1. I've provided 1, referencing the documentation. Visibility is important because this is needed, and the format, integer. And I'm also giving static drop-down values, comma separated. So user can select from any of these values for number of images. Come back again. Let's edit the prompt. So this is the prompt and the title. It is required and important, and it is of type string. That's it. Because this is user driven, you don't want them to give suggestions. Next is size of an image. Definitely you can give a drop down. This is static drop down with different sizes of type string. And this is important, required, title, description, etc. Once you are done, now next step is code. So here, if you want, you can write code, which is your .NET code. But right now, to keep it very simple, I'm not writing any kind of code. Now what I'll do is I'll just test. And to test that, you can directly test it here as well. Let's just go ahead and see. I'll just add Microsoft Redmond Office surrounded by greenery. And I'll test operation to see whether it is working or not. It will take some time. Okay, I've got a response, and it is 200. And as you can see, these are the headers and this is the body. Wow, I've got the response, and this is in the form of a URL. Because images are in the form of URL, so let us quickly see whether this response was correct or not. Wow, it's loading. Wow. So it's exactly what I prompted: an office, which is Microsoft Redmond Office surrounded by greenery. Isn't it beautiful, right? Yeah. So now let's just go ahead and see where we can integrate this custom connectors. Now I have the custom connector and I have an action called creates images. How I can utilize it in the most like to make my productivity efficient. So let's just go ahead and drill down to the Power Apps. I've created a use case. So just give it a minute and we'll go to the apps, OpenAI, edit. Give it a minute to load. Okay, my app is here. So this is my OpenAI application, and it is stating that this OpenAI application is using DALI 2 model. And let's just get started. It is giving me that, okay, hey, there I am just, this is an example of image generation. So you can find some documentation from OpenAI. And these are the API details, just like which I pulled from the Microsoft, OpenAPI reference documentation here. And another example. So let's just see the example and I'll let you know what I did behind the scenes. So let's just add. I'll add some prompt of provide me an image of illustrated version of cat with tackles. I'm giving some more context to just the cat that, hey, I want an image of cat, which is the illustrated version. And also it should have cat should wear spectacles. And I want one image. The size should be just 256 cross 256. And let's just click on generate image and wait. Oh, wow. Isn't it beautiful? I just provided the model is taking the exact prompt. It provided me with an illustrated version of a cat, which wears specs, isn't it? Let's just go ahead and look and to like just play with it. Just type in Microsoft MVP. I'll keep all the parameters same. And let's just see what it gets back with. Oh, wow. It did, but it is not exactly what we wanted, right? And let's just add more context. So you can see the model only gives you the response, exact response of what you want, only if you provide more context around your prompts. Most valuable professionals. Let's just run an image. Okay. Still, I mean, it is not up to the mark, but yeah, then let's just go ahead and see what I did behind the scenes. So to show you what I did behind the scenes is I am just on click of generating an image. I've integrated this with my OpenAI Create Image Custom Connector. And on click of this, on select, what am I doing is I am triggering that action. OpenAI Create Image is my custom connector. And this is the action creates image and it is taking all these body parameters as input. This is the prompt, number of images, and the size of image. Once I get back the response and I'm taking the first value of it, the first URL, and then I'm just adding it in the image and it is giving me back. So this image is just the first response.url. As you can see, yeah, I mean, this is how you can utilize your OpenAI integrate. This is how you can integrate OpenAI with Power Platform using image generation DALI model. Now let's just go ahead and also look at how you can integrate the same custom connector into your Power Automates. It's nothing new, right? So let's just go ahead and right now we'll just add a built-in. I'll click this one and I will add my custom connectors. So where you will find the custom connector in Power Automate in custom section. And I'll create just OpenAI create image and create image is the action which I'm going to use. I'm going to add a prompt, a pink cat with pink cat wearing black hat on a beach. Let's just see, save, and we'll test this again. And if you see, all these three body parameters are now your three inputs, and we can just grab, you can just type in number of image, size of image, etc. And we'll just save and test this flow, manually test it, continue, run, and we'll wait for the response. Wow, I think I've received some response. Okay. And the response status code is also 200. So it means that it is successfully executed, and we'll grab the URL. You can also tweak in and make these changes. You can add a compose and then pick up this URL, and you can show the images as well. Oh, isn't this good? There is a beach, cat wearing. Okay. I mean, a pink. If you observed what it did, let's go ahead and see a prompt. A prompt was a pink cat wearing black hat, and it just did the reverse, right? So sometimes you have to provide more context in terms of prompt, but this is how it is. You can also refer to other aspects here. There are multiple models. So what you can do is there are different examples in OpenAI: grammar correction, keywords, memo writer, emoji chatbot. There are multiple examples. You can pick any of them. So I can just add chat. There is just one more in the playground. So this is the playground where a user can type in. So this is the chat mode, and the model which it is using. Write me a post on speaking. And if I just hit enter, then this is how you can build. This is a model, you can use it. And then based on this, you can just view code, and you can grab the API header and the model, the body of it. So this is how you can use OpenAI into your Power Platform. And let's just go back to our slides. So as you can see from the screen, we talked about what connectors are, what are custom connectors, how you can integrate OpenAI API with custom, like by building a custom connector and then using it in Power and Power Automate. And also we just saw the demo around it. Last but not least, thank you for listening to me. And for any issues or queries or concerns, you can definitely reach out to me on LinkedIn. Thank you so much.
Awesome. I know she's not here, but I really enjoyed that. I thought that was really inspiring to see the pink cat become a black cat, another way around. But no, it was really nice to see that code in play and exactly where you can copy and paste those values from, and use it in those flexible ways. So I thought it was a really useful session. Okay, so this is a Q&A part of the recording normally, but as we're sort of 7 minutes from close, I'm pretty sure everybody's keen to get off and have the rest of their evening to themselves. We did run a little long, but these were really important topics. So thank you for joining us live. For those of you that didn't join us live, we will be putting the sessions up on YouTube. And again, thanks so much for coming to the summer session. We try to get a great collection of speakers for you and some diversity of topic every quarter. And it's important that we get some feedback on the speakers and the content and the stuff you want to hear. And preferably, if you want to come along and speak, get in touch. We're always looking to encourage new speakers to have a platform to be able to come and share what you do and what you create. So really appreciate Sancho, Shruti, and the others, Katerina, Diva, for coming along and giving us their time and sharing with us and the rest of the community. And again, via YouTube, the whole of the topics that we've got to share. Copilot AI, it's really fundamental to understand what it is we've got our hands on and how we can go ahead and use it. So thanks for joining us. Look forward to seeing you all on the next Cambridge Power Platform user group. Do join us online. Come and join the community. There's a link to it there. And we look forward to seeing you all next time. I'm Sharon Sumner. Thanks for having a great session with us today. See you all again soon.
Yeah. Correct.